Board of Supervisors meeting for Thursday, November 13th. Can I get a roll call of the members, please?
Supervisor Reynolds.
Here.
Supervisor Jeffrey Trout. Here. Supervisor Brownell. Here. Supervisor Latini. Here. Supervisor Borst.
Here.
Supervisor Hayes. Supervisor Schmitter. Here. Supervisor Cronenwater. Here. Supervisor Reinhardt.
Here.
Supervisor Partee. Here. Supervisor Heisen.
Here.
Supervisor Don Trout. Supervisor Enslow.
Here.
Supervisor Shipley.
Here.
You have a quorum, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Please join us for a pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Okay, first up, we have a public hearing to introduce for local law 6 of the year 2025, setting the salaries for county public officers.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on opening the public hearing? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now open.
Make motion to close public hearing.
Got a first and a second. Any discussion on closing the public hearing? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Okay, presentations. Peter, are you with us? All right, Executive Director of New York State Sheriff Association.
Thank you, Chairman Enslow and members of the board. Guests, I'm Peter Keogh. I'm the Executive Director of the New York State Sheriff's Association, and I'm here again tonight on behalf of all the sheriffs of New York State to recognize and honor Sheriff Tim Thompson and the Seneca County Sheriff's Office on the occasion of reaccreditation of the Seneca County Jail and reaccreditation of Seneca County Sheriff's Court Security Division. Only 36 of the state's 62 counties have been able to achieve accreditation of the jail, and only 11 counties have achieved accreditation in court security. So obviously these are not easy accomplishments, and they come on in addition to accreditation of the Civil Division and the Law Enforcement Division, which your Sheriff's Office has earned from our association and from the New York State Law Enforcement Agency Accreditation Council. And these are every state level accreditation that's available to your Sheriff's Office. So this is, I think, should be a signal to you that you have an outstanding sheriff, an outstanding Sheriff's Office that are well respected, as you know, here locally, but also across the state. And Sheriff Thompson and the entire staff of the Sheriff's Office should be congratulated, and you should be proud of your Sheriff's Office as they demonstrate their dedication to the pursuit of excellence in their profession and in the services that they provide to the citizens of Seneca County. I'm sure that that you know the quality of your Sheriff's Office, and I want to congratulate Sheriff Thompson and Under Sheriff Marquardt and all those who work in the Sheriff's Office for these achievements tonight. But we especially want to recognize those who work in these two important divisions of the Sheriff's Office, the Jail Division and the Court Security Division. I think we all recognize and respect the dangerous, stressful work done every day by the road patrol deputies, and rightfully so. But the dangerous, stressful work performed by your Corrections Division and your court security deputies is less well known and or appreciated. To my mind, they are unsung heroes of the law enforcement system. Corrections officers spend a large part of their life locked up behind bars with some of the most dangerous people in our society. They keep us safe from those people, but they also must keep those people safe from each other. And they must always be mindful that some of the people in their charge are actually innocent. And they must remember always that both the innocent and the guilty are entitled to safe, humane, respectful treatment. So this is kind of a tough, unenviable job that we ask these good public servants to perform, and I think we owe them our gratitude for their willingness to do it and to do it right. Likewise, we ask our court security deputies to do the unglamorous but often difficult work of protecting our courthouses, our judges and their staff, and the lawyers and the members of the public who must come to the courthouse to conduct business or participate in the courthouse, in the court processes. In this era of too widespread disrespect for law, for the courts, and for law enforcement in general, court security is of heightened concern for all of those who must come to the courthouse to transact business. If our judges and lawyers do not feel safe in accessing our court facilities, and if the public doesn't feel safe in coming here for the administration of justice, the delivery of justice will suffer. And our court security officers make it possible for our courts to administer justice without fear for the safety of the participants in the legal system. So we also owe these officers our gratitude for their willingness to do this difficult job and to do it right. And obviously both the Corrections Division and the Court Security Division do it right, as evidenced by these reaccreditations here tonight. To achieve accreditation requires the Sheriff's Office to meet a very stringent set of standards and best practices developed by experts in the particular discipline for which accreditation is being sought. The jail standards have 166 individual components, and the Court Security Division has 39 major standards with many subdivisions. So to gain accreditation, each of these divisions must submit itself to scrutiny by an outside board of assessors who review that division's operations in detail to ascertain whether or not the division meets those many demanding standards and best practices. And I'm happy to report that the assessors which reviewed the operations of your jail and the assessors that reviewed the operations of your Court Security Division have reported to me that they do meet or exceed every one of those standards, and that your Sheriff's Office is well deserving of accreditation in both of those divisions. So accordingly, we congratulate the Sheriff and the men and women of the Seneca County Sheriff's Corrections Division and the Court Security Division, and all the men and women of the Seneca County Sheriff's Office for these significant accomplishments. But I want to say that congratulations are also in order for this Board of Supervisors and for the public of Seneca County, because without your moral support and your financial support, these achievements by your Sheriff's Office just would not be possible. Accreditation does not just happen. It requires a lot of hard work by a lot of people, but I want to, and this entire staff of your Sheriff's Office deserve to be recognized for this, but I want to particularly point out a couple of individuals who did a great deal of extra work demonstrating that your Sheriff's Office is most deserving of these reaccreditations which we present tonight. So several of them are not with us, but I think Sergeant Dan Dressing. Sergeant. Congratulations to you, and thank you for your hard work on this project.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And we have Lieutenant Joshua Kurtz. Lieutenant? Congratulations to you, and thank you for your hard work. Also want to recognize Captain Don Borland for his hard work, Sergeant Luke Leskowski, Deputy James Pesci, and Deputy Pasalakwa for their work on this project. I don't think those folks are with us tonight, but again, I want to recognize their hard work on this project also. Again, congratulations to all the partners in this significant achievement, and I want to thank you again, Chairman Enslow, for this opportunity to publicly declare all the good work that's being done by your Sheriff's Office for all the citizens of this county. And I'll ask Sheriff Thompson to come forward and to accept the plaques recognizing these achievements. Sheriff? For the jail division, congratulations. And for the court security division, again, congratulations. Sheriff. And thank you again, Chairman.
Thank you.
Good evening. I just wanted to say a couple of words thanking the Board of Supervisors for their support. Certainly thanking the members of the Sheriff's Office for their contributions to accreditation and ultimately reaccreditation. It is a testament to their hard work, their dedication, and their professionalism. I also want to thank the Sheriff's Association for taking the ride from Albany tonight and their hard work in the accreditation process as well, because they're a heavy part of this process by sending assessors, helping us through the process with any problems that we might encounter. So I want to thank Peter and his staff as well for their dedication to sheriff's offices across the state. But again, thank you to everybody, and we look forward to law enforcement reaccreditation in December. So thank you.
Okay, next up, we have a presentation from a representative from Beverly's Animal Shelter.
We don't have a presentation.
Well, could you tell us what's going on?
Just want to make sure.
You didn't get the homework assignment right.
Hi. We understood that you wanted to ask questions about the DCO, Dog Control Officer.
If you could tell us what's, where you guys are at. There's been a lot of...
Right now, we don't really know where we're at. New York State is implementing the Companion Animal Care Standards Act. That goes into effect the 15th of December. Our fearless leader that passed away last year knew about this 4 years ago, but didn't let the board know that we had all these changes that had to be made. Now we're at the wire.
Scrambling to
We're
get
scrambling
things
to get
done.
things done. At this point, we can't continue all the DCO work that we did, that we just don't have the facilities. And the problem is, until it's really we're into it, we have to have about one staff member for 5 to 6 dogs. This is going to be mandated by the state. So in any 2-week period, we can never be sure how many DCO dogs we get. We might not get a call for 4 days, and then the next day we might get 10. So it's very difficult. And we have our own dogs, our own surrenders that we have. So we're kind of hard put to get this straightened out. So we are going to take care of Waterloo and Fayette and Seneca Falls, because they're all right there. They're all within a real close area. But the ones that are further out and harder, we just can't do it.
Any supervisors have any questions? Supervisor Borst?
So I'm from Ovid.
Yes.
Appreciate all of the years that you took care of us. It was great. Now, my question is, if a resident comes up from Ovid to surrender a dog, will they be turned away, or will you take that dog?
If we have room and we can take them, yes. A DCO, if you're under contract and you come to us and say, I've got 10 dogs, you're under contract. We have to take your dog.
Okay.
But if you have 3 dogs and you decide, I don't want one of them, if we have room, and I have to be serious, we can't afford to take in a vicious dog.
Mm-hmm.
We can't adopt it out. It's not safe for our staff to have to take care of it. And we can't let it go. So that puts us in a tough position. We'd have to put it down or have it put down.
Yeah, So this doesn't mean that people outside of those 3 areas, you know, can't come to us for help or, you know, we just might not be able to help you and take a dog or a cat or whatever at
Yep.
that time.
Okay, thank you.
Well, we are severely limited on the number that we can take, and as she said, the number of staff that can, you know, have to be, there's enrichment time for every animal, there's, and we're working on 1 year when we had 3 years, 4 years
We had
notice.
4, yeah.
We're under renovations right now, so,
So everything is in
and the
that
state is
confusion.
working with us. So we hope to be, you know,
Up and running. Yes, sir.
Yes, is it your goal to, after you make the amends for your building and your oversight, is it your intent to just continue to service the 3 townships, or will you?
No,
turn back?
as long as we possibly can, we'll keep up the 3.
After you make the remediations and the improvements that the state is asking for, are you just going to maintain the 3, or will you go back to the original business model where you did take animals, let's say dogs from Ovid, Lodi, Covert, et cetera?
I honestly don't see it expanding beyond those 3 areas.
No, probably not. It's very difficult.
We have to segregate DCO animals from our animals, from boarding animals. I think they can be in the same, there has to be petitions, I think, in between.
There has to be a
So there's a
segregated-
lot of parameters. They have to have so many square feet to be able to stretch out, and so there's a lot of regulations to this new
paperwork-
Standards Act.
The paperwork that the staff has to go through for each animal, too, is a lot. They have to document everything. So,
Supervisor Partee?
So, hi. I know New York State Egg and Markets Article 7 protects people from dogs, but Article 26 protects dogs from really bad people. If you're only supporting the 3 towns for Article 7, are you able to support the county wherever an abuse or animal cruelty case comes up? Are you able to help the county with Article 26?
you know, I think we would definitely would try. I think we've adopted all the animals from the last.
From the
No,
last-
we have the 1 shepherd left from the last cruelty,
That we took in 4,
and we had 4 from that.
but they were all, I don't want to say damaged, but it took time for them to get
But-
used to people and
But
socialize.
they were damaged. They took a lot of time. But that's always been our mission, is to try and help the ones that nobody else will. And the state is going to tie our hands. We're not going to be able to do all the things that we've always done. If anybody found a kitten and it had been thrown out of a car, we'd always take it, because nobody else will. And I don't know that we're gonna be able to do that anymore. And that's gonna be awful.
These new regs are severely going to limit
Everything.
all rescues, not just us.
So are you doing enforcement too, like, I mean, like our town, like, you guys always, sorry, Paul's obviously, but you used to send a person that would enforce, like, people without licenses or dog, are you guys done with that? Is having an actual person do that stuff?
No, I think he does.
He does what he can.
Because according to my police, they were saying they're not giving you guys the response and stuff like that. So, I don't know, I mean, we pay a good chunk every month for that service.
We come during the day, and I know our DCO is going to be gone for the next, I believe, 2 or 3 nights. But we can't go chase an animal in the middle of the night because there's one running loose. We have taken dogs from private homes that have bitten the owner. And in that case, if the dog has to be quarantined, the owner should actually quarantine it in their own home.
I'm saying, are we writing citations?
Oh, yes, oh, definitely.
Oh, they're getting ticketed.
They're getting
And
ticketed.
we're sending that report, and that's all. I've told it's not, so. I mean, the law says you should generate enough money to what we pay you. That's basically, shouldn't be a taxpayer's burden, generated by, and I don't see that happening in the law. So, we need it, we need something, we gotta protect our. I'm under the impression, I will have a discussion with my chief tomorrow. He's telling me we're not getting that response, and no one's handling the claims.
Our staff has always been told, if you get a call, you've got to take the animal and go get the animal. If it's at all possible, sometimes they can't get the animal. The animal's taken off
Right,
or,
there's more than just that, to what I think we're looking for on the dog control law. I mean, just not a
well,
dog.
the young man that we have now, we had a dog control officer that left us. And the dog control guy we've got now, he was all set to go to a class to learn the ins and outs and the ticket writing and all the rest of the stuff that goes with it. And they canceled the class because of the new regulations coming due. They decided to do it next year after these regs are up and running.
Okay, I mean, I just wanna make sure we do the service you're paying.
Oh, absolutely, I don't blame you.
Is there any other questions? Can you both state your names, please? I'm sorry, we didn't get it for the record.
I'm Pat Moran.
Pat Moore, okay.
She's president. I'm Mima Kaiser, treasurer.
You can be vice president.
No.
Supervisor Trout?
Thank you for what you do at the town of Fayette. Can you explain to us, like, what, with the Golisano grant, how that's being distributed and how that's being used to help you meet the new standards, or what it's being used for, I guess, in general?
It was $1 million grant, and it's in 4
Installments
installments. Right now, it's being used to rebuild.
to do these
to
renovations
do
that
all
we're
these
doing.
renovations.
We did use it to, some of the, not just the building renovations, but there's certain supplies we need. We have to buy more cat cages, we've got to buy,
Special dog beds.
yeah. So part of it's gonna go to that kind of thing. Even, we're looking into software that may cost us money, that might streamline things a bit. Let's see, what else do we have to? We did pay for, we've been using it for emergency animal. We've had a lot of emergency animal bills, that had to go to urgent care in Auburn, that kind of thing.
So is it as part of that grant, like, do you have to provide an account of it back to the Golisano
Yes,
Foundation?
I just did, actually, within the last month or so, and we should be up for another draw shortly. I think this is about the time we got it last year.
And so, particular to the town of Fayette, I think probably like the town of Seneca Falls, for many years, Dalen would come to every board meeting, and then when Mike took over, Mike was coming to every board meeting, giving us a report and able to ask and answer questions to the town board. That hasn't happened since Mike left.
That's the young man that hasn't been to class.
We'll follow up with that.
Yeah, because that's important, not just for that communication piece, but also to ask questions about, hey, what's going on? Because, I will be transparent in that there are very significant concerns that if, in fact, the shelter is unable to meet these regs for the whole county, at what point, if any, will there be a point where you can't meet them for the 3 towns as well? And so that, there's concern around that, which I think is understandable, that, about the viability of the operation. So anything you could do to reassure that, I know my town board would appreciate.
Yeah, we're concerned too, until we get into these regulations and find out exactly where we stand. Yep. I don't blame anyone for being upset. My fear is that dogs and cats are just gonna be run amok and nobody's gonna be able to help them.
Well, you mentioned earlier about did you call it the DGO, the dog, or the DCO,
Dog
animals
control officer.
versus the other I guess, private animals. If you were to, if your funding, your municipal funding were reduced, or someone, you know, like Town of Fayette decided to contract with someone else, what kind of impact would that have on, on the one hand, I guess it would relieve you of having to have that burden. But would that relief of that burden be less than the financial burden it would cause by not receiving those guaranteed funds?
It's,
I know, I can't answer that question on its surface, though, not without, like, digging into
Okay,
numbers.
yeah, I mean, it's, to Frank's point,
I
it's
mean,
like,
certainly, the money helps, no matter,
right,
but I understand where you're coming. If you could decide to look elsewhere, is it gonna hurt what we do?
because we certainly, like, my board doesn't want to hurt the shelter in any respects, but if it's, I know we particularly have a large number of dogs per year that you deal with. So if that's more of a burden because of what you said, than it is what we're paying you, which I think is around 12 to 13,000 with the day-to-day and the annual, you know, maybe it's not worth it. I just don't know. That would have to be a question I'd have to send back to you to see if that's.
This is also kind of, I'll be honest, this is new to me. I've only got 1 year of financials under my belt, and I finally streamlined the system.
That's good.
So I'm trying to, you know, come up with budgets and that kind of thing for going into 2026. I know that doesn't really answer your question
No,
right
but
now.
it's good to know that you're addressing that.
Well, yeah, I know there's been a problem. We all do.
yeah, we all do. But honestly, Dallin left us in a pickle by not letting us get a jump start on these renovations and the
She was a
regulations.
very strong personality that was challenged to, yeah.
Pretty nice way to put it.
I mean, we're grateful for the Golisano grant, thank God.
Yeah.
Because if that didn't come through,
We've been able to help a lot of animals. I mean, we've had a dog with a broken leg that we would have had to put down because there's, you know, we just don't have an extra $1,000 laying
Right.
around.
just spend on one
Is
animal.
it? Yeah, for one animal. But, yeah. We're trying, we're really trying.
We appreciate being invited.
Yeah.
And if we could, there might be a possibility down the road of putting up another kennel. But right now, with the kennel space and the regulations for how many we can have, we have to have a cat adoption day because we're limited on the number of cats we can have. So, and that's gonna hurt with the people who find a litter of 5 kittens under the bushes in their front yard.
Yeah.
You know, and they bring them in, what are we gonna do? And how do you look at a 3-week-old kitten with its eyes matted shut and say, go put it back under the bushes? You know, that's, and unfortunately, we're probably gonna get done by the state, because all of us are probably gonna say, okay, let me take it. You know, it's just hard.
Supervisor Reinhardt.
Thank you for what you do. It's a very tough job. I can't imagine doing that. I remember when Gladys Schultz was there. So I mean, but if I'm hearing right, you really don't have a definitive time frame of when you're going to be up and running.
Oh, our contractor tells us that the renovations will be done by December 15th of this year. And we will have, I'm expecting the state to come in sometime between the 15th and the 1st of January to do an inspection. And I understand that they will work with us for the first year. And our contractor's been wonderful. We had a person come and did an evaluation and go through and say, this needs done, this needs done. And Phil got right on the phone and called her right up and said, this is what we need, can I use this, can I use that? What about this paint for the ceiling? And I know he's called her probably at least 6 times.
Can I ask them going forward, when you get these dates, could you please, once you get your renovations done, and then she can forward it out so we can kind of keep abreast of where the progress is. And in that, if you kind of give us the plan for the future, So, I mean, what towns are gonna be able to come in, what contracts are gonna be honored? Are you still gonna take owner surrenders? Just so we can kinda know what the plan is, so we can make other arrangements, should other arrangements.
Well, the hard part is, the young man right now that's doing the DCO, he's a great guy, but he's a young man. It would be great to find an older person that is experienced in dog handling, because you can't take somebody that doesn't handle dogs. You don't want any part of it, huh? But
He's very good with dogs, but
He is very
he just
good.
needs to be under somebody's tutelage, you know. He'll get there.
Anybody else have any other questions? Thank you very much.
all right,
Thank
thank you,
you.
guys.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is open privilege of the floor. If anybody'd like to address the board, now would be the time.
Does that include us? Or
No, absolutely not. Denied. I said public. You don't count.
I could go to the front podium.
All right. Wait for Amanda.
None? That's a first.
All right, let's get on to approving the minutes from October 14th.
So moved.
Got a second, a first and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any short special committee reports?
Is this our opportunity?
Do you have a special committee you'd like to report on?
No, no.
Anybody else? Okay. I do not have anything. Deputy County Manager, do you have anything tonight? Okay. County Attorney? Oh, quiet. Okay. Communications.
Communications 188 through 203 have been received and filed.
Okay. Okay, first up is number 12, Ways and Means, Supervisor Partee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Board of Supervisors authorizes the purchase of aging network switches.
Support.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 13,
Adopting the equalization rates for the 2025 county tax apportionment prior to November. Did you say so moved?
I said moved.
Cut me off.
I know. Cut it out.
We can read. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, we got a first and a second. Any discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 14,
Clerk of the Board authorized and directed to advertise for the public hearing for the 2026 Seneca County budget.
So moved.
got a second. Any discussion?
I believe we have a
Presentation.
presentation.
Yep. Okay.
Presentation.
December 9th.
I'm getting all ready to make my little speeches here.
Does that automatically turn on or?
My resolution's ready. Now I gotta wait.
Okay. Okay. That works. So, presenting the Seneca County 2026 proposed budget, along with Deputy County Manager Melissa Taylor. So we presented to the Ways and Means Committee earlier this afternoon at the committee meeting and recommended to present to full board. In the 2026 budget, a couple of the priorities that we have in the budget is, number one, our capital improvement planning process. This year's budget includes dollars to start that capital improvement planning process. So we have a project plan of different projects over the course of the next several years, and we're starting by putting in $500,000 in the current budget for those projects. Continuing to assist the most vulnerable populations with funding for public health, mental health, Office for Aging, and Department of Human Services, and the Sheriff's Office to address the safety needs within our community. The budget includes offering competitive wages and benefits to employees, and it also includes debt service funding for 2 new projects, for a new highway building to replace the existing, and mental health move renovations. So there's $1 million of debt service funding in the budget for that projects. This slide is kind of showing just a historical of where the tax rates have been, along with levies and general fund appropriations over the past 12 years. So back in 2014, we were at an equalized full value tax rate per thousand of $5.41. Last year, we were at $3.64. The proposed 2026 budget is bringing us to $4.85 per thousand as an equalized full value tax rate. The levy has increased from last year to now $19.1 million. And general fund appropriations increased just about $5.5 million to $101.2 million from last year.
Chairman, are we holding questions till the end? Well, actually, just a comment that I made every single year I've been on the board, but if you look at, for those who, if you don't have a calculator, 2014, the rate was $5.41, looking at $4.85 for next year. If you simply, and you can go right to the Department of Labor, they have an inflation calculator. If the county had simply kept that rate steady and accommodate for inflation, the current rate would be $10.43. So think about that in terms of trying to fund the responsibilities and the commitments and the priorities we have. The rate that the county charged in 2014 is equivalent today to $10.43. The proposed rate is less than half of that amount. It's just something to ponder as we think about trying to move forward and meet the challenges that confront us in the 21st century. That's it. Thank you.
That is kind of a similar situation. I did kind of point out in the Ways and Means Committee earlier today, we kind of went from the 2016 numbers, which is very similar. So in 2016, the equalized full value tax rate was 5.3 million, and we're proposing 485. So again, below where we were at 10 years ago, while the tax levy has doubled, and the general fund appropriations have gone from 60 million to 101 million. So an increase of $50 million, and the tax rate is still going down technically from what 2016 rate was.
And if we go back 20 years ago, we were actually at $7 per turn. Yes.
But also,
I don't hear that.
I'm being completely fair because of inflation.
I understand that. I'm only saying, but are you saying it should be at $10? I'm
No,
only.
no, that's not what I said.
You said it would be at $10.
I said that rate of 541, I taught economics, in 2026 would today be $10.43.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Okay,
here.
all right.
I'm not. I'm only pointing out that it's all relative to what the total dollars collected. That's the point I'm trying to make.
No, I get, fair enough,
I would also like to point out the general appropriations. We are actually spending less this year as far as an increase than 24 to 25, and looking from 25 to 26.
How much has the tax rate, or not the rate of the assessed valuation of our properties gone from 2014 to now?
I'm not sure of that because I don't have the 2014 information available. I only have the last couple of years available to me, but we could sure look that up.
Well, right, it must have increased significantly from 2014. Otherwise, there's no way the tax rate could have gone down, and you still generated this much money. It would be if, like Supervisor Heiss, if you could get that number, that would be nice to have.
That's why it doesn't keep going up, because we get more assessed valuation. Otherwise, your theory would be probably a little more correct.
Mine's perfectly correct because it's based on math. But yeah, I think that would be a good number to have, I agree. When did the sales tax take?
So the next slide is showing the general appropriation. So this is just the general fund, fund number 10, from, again, 2001 to current of 2026, where we're at just over $101 million for general fund appropriations. The next slide is kind of doing a similar thing, looking at the tax levy as a percentage increase, as well as general appropriations as a percentage increase, where you can see from early on, from 2002, when I have information, through just about 2013, they stayed relatively consistent. So the tax levy increased a certain percentage, the tax rate increased that same amount percentage. Until we get to about 2014, the general appropriations continue to increase much higher than what the tax rate increased, or the tax levy, I'm sorry. And so there was a disparity between the two when funds were kind of being used from other sources to try to bridge that gap. Whereas in the proposed budget for 2026, it's bringing it back in line as this percentage increase from 2001 to 2026. They're both at like 194 and 195% increases from those points in time, again, getting back to the similar merging point on the graph. Some of the budget highlights: all funds, the overall budget for appropriations is $116,461,000. It's an increase of $5.5 million from the 25 budget. The 25 budget over the 24 budget was a little over an $8 million increase. So this is what Melissa was referring to earlier, that even the budget has gone up. It's gone up less than it did the previous year. General fund budget, similar situation. The $101 million is an increase of $5.5 million from the 2025 general fund appropriations. The budget is using the recommended tax reduction reserve allocation of $3.7 million. So each year, as we end the year, we look at what our undesignated reserve balance needs to be, our fund balance. And then any additional dollars that are remaining are set aside in the tax reduction reserve allocation to be used in the 4 future periods, a quarter each of those years. So that's the amount that has been set aside over the last couple of years. This puts the property tax levy recommendation at $19.1 million, which is an increase of $6.5 million from last year. And again, the tax rate increase being proposed is going from $3.64 per thousand to $4.85 per thousand of equalized assessed value. Median tax levy impact for a residential household. So the increase would go from $3.64 to $4.85, an increase of $1.21. For a median residential household assessed at $130,000 with no change in assessment, the net annual county tax would be $630. It would be an increase of $156 from the previous year, which equates to about $13 a month increase. This is showing totals by fund. So again, overall, we have the increase of the $5.5 million from the 25 budget to the 26 budget, and the bulk of that is in the general fund, the 5.8% increase of $5.58 million. The next one is showing kind of some of the key revenue and expense categories. So some of the increases where we're seeing the biggest increases, the first line, the real property tax increase. This is again the $6.5 million increase. We are proposing an increase of sales tax. Currently, it's 33 million in the 25 budget. We're proposing 33,750,000. We are running ahead in that line in the 25 budget, so that feels like a comfortable number to utilize in the 26 budget. And holding flat a couple of the other lines, including casino gaming revenue at the 2.6 million. We're right on target for that one this year.
So Julie, pushing that up 750,000, at this point, can you predict whether there is likely to be any sharing with the other municipalities?
For 2025?
No, for 2027, I guess, right? Because it's always 2 years.
Would be based on the 25 actuals.
Yes.
So based on 25 actuals, most likely there will be. We're running about 35 million estimated, and we're at 33 million. So anything above the 750 would be.
And I'll be fair, the basis of my concern and question is that, you know, we approve that sharing, then if we keep moving the bar, it's sort of insincere and unfair to keep moving it so high that then there's never actually any sharing. So so I'm glad to hear what you've said. Thank you.
Salaries and benefits. Salaries and benefits are the largest portion of the increases in the budget. Combined salaries increased $3.2 million, and benefits increased 2.4, for a total of 5.6 million. So again, the bulk of the increase of the overall budget from 25 to 26 is really related to salaries and benefits. Some of the key drivers with that is retirement and health insurance at just over $1 million each. Retirement increased by 21%. Health insurance, our rates went up 18% from the 2025 rates. And then we have some of the other key expenses. I think the primary one I would just point out is our Medicaid, our weekly shares, increasing from 6.1 million to 6.6 million, an increase of just under $500,000. And that's our mandated shares for the weekly Medicaid.
You say retirement went up $1 million. Is that our contribution to the systems?
And then overall debt principal and interest did go down a little bit, even with adding in the additional $1 million. We had one debt service that ends in 25, but we've maintained $1 million to stay in the budget for 2026 for those new renovations for the other two projects. And then the contingency funds on the bottom, we're keeping consistent with the regular contingency funds of $750,000 that was in the 25 budget, same number in 26. And capital projects, we had $250,000 in the 25 budget, and that's what we're increasing to $500,000 as part of that capital improvement planning process. So again, the significant drivers of the budget is the $5.6 million increase in wages and fringes. We added the $250,000 for the capital improvement planning, Medicaid local share costs going up $463,000, and then other random inflationary increases. One of the big things we have done in 25, our utilities did, we budgeted for increases in 25, but the increases, we've gone above those increases. So we've had to do budget transfers to cover those increased costs because of the utilities such as NYSEG and Direct Energy. The tax levy breakdown by program department as a percentage of the overall costs. These numbers are very similar to what they were last year in the 2025 budget. The sheriff's department is 27% of the overall costs. That was also 27% last year. DHS and workforce are 20% this year, 19% of the overall cost last year. Highways next with 8%, and public health and facilities at 6% each. And then all the other programs that are under 5% make up the other 29% of the overall costs. So no big surprises or changes from last year in this area.
Julie, can I ask you, can you go back to that percentage, is that the number based off county contributions or
Net
total
cost.
budget side? Net cost.
Net cost to the county. Funding for affiliate organizations, so this is showing the funding from the last 4 years and requests that came in for 2026 in the budget based on our discussions at the board meeting, or with the board for the budget meeting on Friday. We have held the 2025 levels for the organizations is what's currently in the 2026 budget. So again, as we building the budget, some of the challenges is the unfunded mandates, mandated services, including Medicaid, probation, the jail, a public defender's office, the assigned counsel, social services, mental health, early intervention, and preschool services, among others.
What percentage that is of the budget, like the unfunded?
The costs of those far exceed our tax levy amount.
Wow, wow.
So some of the responses as we're going through the budget, we did discuss, Melissa and I met with multiple department heads before meeting with the board and department heads, and we talked through with the highway department, we are utilizing $500,000 of fund balance to help offset the county cost that's related to that program. So that helped to reduce the county cost for that. Raising the tax levy, budgeting the increase in the sales tax revenue, and we also budgeted increased interest earnings. So in the '25 budget, there was $450,000 for interest revenue, and we're budgeting $1.35 million in the 2026 budget. And then we did work with multiple departments to work on cost reductions within their budget to get to the tax levy and tax rate that we are currently at. Factors to look at, monitor in 2026. So again, continuing to look at sales tax revenues. Again, this year they've been higher than what we had last year. So we'll continue to monitor that. Construction and project costs, as that will be a big piece of that $1 million that we have for the debt principal, as well as the $500,000 for the capital improvement plan. Unknowns from the federal and state budgets and what impact that could be on the county share cost and reimbursements that we receive. And as well as labor negotiation discussions. Again, wages and fringes are one of the largest pieces of our budget, so that's always a key area. And that's a factor that we have a plan to look at in 2026 for the 2027 year, is to really review our health insurance costs in total and options for that. And then the last slide we put together is just a comparison of some of the surrounding counties and other counties similar sizes to kind of as a comparison. So with the proposal, I think when we presented in our review with the board on Friday, we were at $5.21. We were able to cut that down a little bit more and got it to $4.85 per thousand. In comparison, these are the rates of, like, Genesee and Livingston are over $7 per thousand. Cayuga County is one of our neighbors at $6.09. Jefferson County is similar sizes, $5.58. Ontario, $5.50. And then Chemung-Tompkins, just right around that $4.70, $4.90, right about where we're proposing to be at $4.85. Any other questions?
And this is without using any additional tax reserve funding, so.
That's good, good job.
I think when we were at Ways and Means, I think one of the things that came up, and it's important that we put out there to put it into perspective, was, this significant drop in that number, what do we have to do? Well, in order to take 25 cents off that number, you have to eliminate $1 million in that budget.
Cost.
So just to put that into perspective. I just bring that up because that was a topic.
Did you also discuss, I know we got Supervisor Partie's email about the weatherization. Is there a plan?
In the budget, weatherization is a net zero.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, gotcha.
Any more questions or discussion?
If salary change mid-year for the contract, will they readjust those numbers and send us an amount due, or do they wait till the following year?
I think they're always behind on that, is the way I understand it. So we get a bill, we get an estimated invoice, and then later in the year, we'll get an actual invoice that we have to then, we can pay by the end of the year with a slight discount.
I think they're
But it's-
behind about 6 months.
And so for the purposes of budgeting, personnel puts in percentages based on where people fall. And so it may not always equal that because we don't have that number for next year yet, but it would be similar to using those percentages.
Right, so I think to add to Mike's question then, if there were significant salary increases, that would have a concurrent impact on what we pay on FICA and what we pay in retirement.
On retirement, correct.
Right, yeah.
There it goes.
Not too many suggestions, are there?
Press it again. Okay.
Yeah, there. 25% labor reduction.
Is there any more discussion? Okay. You ready, Amanda? Good, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Let's do a roll call, please.
We vote on.
Voting on the last resolution.
Okay.
Give that budget to the clerk of the
Supervisor
board
Reynolds,
at a public hearing.
Yay. Yes.
Supervisor Jeffrey Trout,
Yes.
Supervisor Brownell,
Yes.
Supervisor Latini. Supervisor Borst. Supervisor Hayes is absent. Supervisor Schmitter.
Yes.
Supervisor Cronenwater.
Yes.
Supervisor Reinhardt. Supervisor Partee.
Yes.
Supervisor Heisen.
Yes.
Don Trout is absent. Supervisor Enlow.
Yes.
Supervisor Shipley.
No.
Okay.
586 ayes, 57 nays, 107 absent.
Okay. Motion passes. All right. Let's see. I think we're done with you, Supervisor Partee, aren't we? Okay. Number 15, Supervisor Heisen.
Yes, thank you. Reappoint Dr. Dale Fryer to the Seneca County Board of Health.
Support. Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 16.
Authorizing an agreement with the S2AY Rural Health Network, DBA, the Pivotal Public Health Partnership for Network Membership and Quality Improvement Activities.
Support.
Second.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 17.
Okay, Seneca County Board of Supervisors accepts $85,397 from the University of Rochester in support of services to Seneca County residents impacted by opioid use disorders, abuse, use disorder.
A second? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. Number 18.
Yes, Seneca County Board of Supervisors approved Finger Lakes local plan for the period July 1, 2005 to June 30th of 2028.
Support. Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right. Number 19, Public Works Supervisor Reinhardt.
Supervisor approved purchase of one 2025 Ford F-150 pickup and a 2026 F-250 for the highway department.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 20.
Supervisor approved snow
Support.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 21.
Supervisor to approve additional funding to the architect for the OFA renovation.
Got a second? Is there a second? Okay. I did not go anywhere. Okay, number 22.
Supervisor to approve surplus vehicles and items to be auctioned.
So moved.
Got a second on that? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, number 23, Supervisor Cronwitter.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Support Senate Bill S 8481 and Assembly Bill A 8996 to authorize local governments to opt out of the mandates and benchmarks arising under the Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act. I'm just wondering if we can get a Assembly and Senate bill for the dog regulations just enacted, similar to this.
We got a second on this. Any more discussion on this? It's not a question for me to answer, right?
Well, NICEAG is out of control. Hopefully bring some local.
So,
Supervisor Trout?
so to Supervisor Cronenwetter's point, something he and I have been talking about, I really think, and I'll throw this out there and maybe press picks up on it, I really think that we ought to, I don't know how you would do this, but encourage everyone who's under NICEAG and RG&E, pick a date and no one pay their bill. Because this is absolutely outrageous. I get, in the 4 years I've been in this position, of all the things, the land claim, taxes, you name it, the issue I've received the most concerns about from across the spectrum of socioeconomic folks is electricity rates. And I'll give one example I shared with Supervisor Cronenwetter. We recently moved from our old house to our new house. 2 weeks prior to moving on October 31st, they installed a smart meter. That was on, and we moved on October 31st. On November 3rd, I received a text message saying that our daily usage had tripled when we weren't even in the house. And in fact, on the first, second, and third, there was one light bulb that was left on, and it was an LED light bulb. There is no way in hell our usage tripled. So there's something seriously wrong. I mean, this number of people can't possibly be wrong. So I think,
Yes, like I brought up earlier before this resolution surfaced. I got 3 different bills.
yes, I had the same thing happen.
1 week with 3 different numbers.
Yeah. This just isn't
And
right.
Same house, I've been there 15 years, and the rate tripled. It's out of control, owned by a foreign company, really don't have any feelings for what the Americans are paying for rates. It's just out of control. Where is our public service committee? Who appoints
The
those?
rubber stamp.
The governor appoints them, yeah.
Oh, that is.
Anyway.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right. Supervisor Borst, number 24.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Supervisors approve the creation and filling of one full-time paralegal at the District Attorney's Office.
Second.
Support.
Lots of support. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 25.
Acceptance of 2025 election grant program for Seneca County Board of Elections.
Second.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 26.
Acceptance of 2025 vote by mail grant program for Seneca County Board of
Second.
Elections.
Got a second from an excited guy over there. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 27.
Resolution amending the Seneca County Freedom of Information Law Request Policy.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Holy cow. Number 28.
Supervisors approve purchase of one 2025 Ford Explorer for the code enforcement.
Second.
office.
Supervisor Boers,
Second.
there's gonna have to be an amendment. It should be a Ford Escape.
Okay,
Oh,
all right.
Okay, we got a second.
I move to amend the motion,
Okay,
make it a Ford Escape.
okay, get a second on the amendment? Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, as amended, sir, please.
All right, supervisors approve purchase of one 2025 Ford Escape for the
Second.
code enforcement office.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 29.
Supervisors authorize abolishing a senior addictions counselor position and creating and filling an addictions counselor in the mental health department.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 30.
A resolution to adopt local law 6 of the year 2025, setting salaries for county public officers and previously designated senior county personnel for the year 2026.
Second.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, number 31, Supervisor Brownell.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Accept the SFY 2025 State Homeland Security Program NG 911 grant.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 32.
Board of the Supervisors authorize the County Sheriff's Department to apply for the New York State 2025 Law Enforcement Technology Grant.
Support.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 33.
Board of Supervisors authorized reward contract with United Medical Resources for the purpose of the health claims adjudication for the medical pharmaceutical service for Seneca County Correctional Office Facility.
Support.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 34.
Board of Supervisors authorized an intermunicipal agreement with the Town of Tyre for court security service to be performed by the County Sheriff's Department.
Support.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Abstain, one abstention. Okay, passes. Number 35.
Board of Supervisors urges Governor Hochul to, and the New York State legislation to enact technology to components of the raise of age law.
Support.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 36.
Board of Supervisors urges Governor Hochul and the New York State legislation to increase the budget allocation for medication-assisted treatment MAT programs in the county correctional facility.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any unfinished business? Going once, going twice? Okay, new business. I got a couple of things we got to do first. Roy, are you hiding back there? Come on up here. You, yeah, you. Get up here. I'm gonna have this officer cuff you. It's like a history, you know that?
Oh, okay.
Was signing all the service and how long people have been with the county, and this one stood out, so I figured it deserved some special recognition. Roy's been with the county 50 years.
Hey,
50
Roy.
years. You got anything else you want to say or what?
Good 50 years. The board's been very good.
Don't trip.
To the highway department, no, it's been good. My barn's coming?
Maybe.
Maybe, okay.
Thanks, Roy. You didn't cuff him. All right.
So that means he's not leaving, right?
Tried to get him to commit to 50 years more, but he wouldn't do it.
But he's still gonna be around.
Yes. Well, he's
Good.
not leaving.
Get me
He won't
nervous.
leave until the highway building's up, right, Roy? That's right. Okay.
Oh, boy. Got him another 10 more years.
What's that? Oh, we're gonna do that. One way or another, we're gonna do this. I don't know how, but we're gonna do it.
That's what they got banks for.
Supervisor Brownell, do you have something?
This is a motion or just to make a resolution?
Whatever you would like to do.
I'd like to make a motion to no new positions for the first half of 2026.
Anybody want to second that? I'll second it. We got a second on that. Now we can discuss it.
Can we think about that for a while?
Would you like to define that?
Pardon?
Can you
He said no new positions.
Refill.
Just, all new positions are coming up. I just keep filling stuff up if you need to or not, as far as I can see. Slow it up a little bit.
Again,
The committee if you want to.
What's that?
We can put it over to, put it in for a committee meeting next month if you want.
Okay.
I'd rather do that and we give us a little time.
Supervisor Heisen.
But Ernie, clarify, if somebody leaves their job, we don't refill that, or is it just new positions?
New positions.
Like a create.
Creating new
Create and fill, yeah.
Create and fill.
Big difference.
Supervisor Reinhardt.
Two questions on that. If you do that, when would that be starting? Would that be starting immediately? And if that were to be entered as a resolution, wouldn't you have to do a Rule 29 first to enter that as a resolution? Otherwise, it's got to go to the committee to come to the floor.
Correct.
So my recommendation would be is to let it go to, I would say, HRCO, and do it that way, put it through committee, and that brings it to the floor. That would be I won't be here to vote on it, but I'm just saying. Otherwise, you got
I'm okay with that.
29 first, and I think the way it's written is just kind of very ambiguous. I think you'd have to very define what is a new position, so it follows the policy of vacancy and what is a create and fill, what has to go to vacancy, what has to go to committee. Because right now, under the rules, committee can approve a fill. A committee only can approve a filling of a position if it's a refill. So that would require, I think it would require more than just a resolution. It would require changing policy first. Not that it's not a great idea, that's not what I'm saying. But I think in order to do it right, you would have to go to committee and do it as policy changes, and do it that way as opposed to a resolution.
I don't think his intent was to not refill, just not create.
But even if that's the way you end up going, there's still a county policy on how a department can create or request or create and fill.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna vote on it right now to make it a law.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying that rather than do it as a resolution, I think a cleaner way to do it is you have to take it to committee and change the county. I think it's the cleaner way of doing it. And I don't know if the county attorney, maybe I'm wrong.
He doesn't want to jump on that. No, I'll save that. I'll save him from that bullet. Would you like to remove your second so we can, okay. Are you good with sending it to committee?
Yes, yes I am.
So would you put it on your agenda, sir, for the 25th?
Yep.
Thank you so much. Okay. Next order of business. Who has that? Supervisor Reinhardt? Okay.
I make a motion to enter into executive session pursuant to section 105.1 via the New York State Open Meetings Law to review discussions regarding proposed pending or current litigation. And ask all members of the Board of Supervisors, the Deputy County Manager, and the County Attorney to be in the executive session and no action.
Second.
A second. Any discussion?
We get 5 minutes or 2 minutes.
No. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We'll take 5 minutes for Supervisor Reinhardt to do something.